Welcome to the Connoisseur reviews Walt Disney Treasures Zorro, the complete first season. Now, there are 4 movies on this set, but that consists of what was supposed to be the third season. I'm going to get into it right now. The show is in black and white, and it's great, but Walt Disney wanted to do a third season, but before it commenced, he wanted to do it in color, and ABC thought color wasn't the future, and Walt Disney did. Gee, I wonder who was right in the end. Anyway, so the first season starts out with Don Diego de la Vega. Now, de la Vega would be picked up in later incarnations like The Mask of Zorro or The Legend of Zorro, so on and so forth, because before that he was known as Don Diego Vega, which isn't as catchy as de la Vega, so they changed it to Don Diego de la Vega. And upon his return to California after winning a fencing match in Spain, he decides to reinvent himself along with his assistant Bernardo. You see, Don Diego de la Vega learns of the evil machinations of Capitan Monasterio, the evil bad guy for the first 2 to 3 discs, who will stop at nothing to become the richest man in Los Angeles, Los Angeles, of course. He'll stop at nothing to become the richest man in Los Angeles. And honestly, it's a good series. What I love most about it is it's essentially about Don Diego not becoming an effeminate, foppish figure, but just a regular guy. Kind of a cowardly guy, a man of letters, in his own words. But it's about boys being boys. Like, there's this one show where Capitan Monasterio is looking for a fugitive that Zorro is trying to protect, but he can't do it as Zorro, so he's doing it as Don Diego. He wears Henry Calvin, who plays Sergeant Garcia, into the cellar, or the wine cellar. He's like, "So, Sergeant Garcia, here we are in the wine cellar. Now, a mere wine connoisseur would merely taste the wine, but we will not make that mistake. We will drink it all." And then at the end of the episode, Capitan Monasterio, Sergeant Garcia, Don Diego, and Bernardo are all just laughing together. Boys being boys, and that's what I love about this show. Not just the fencing and everything, which is done by top-notch fencers, instructors, and everything else, but the action, the stunts, the coordination, the humor, the singing, everything is nice. And the final confrontation between Don Diego and Capitan Monasterio doesn't reveal his identity, but rather is one of the most definitive, intense sword fights I've seen. And best of all, nobody dies in the end. But, of course, it's a Disney show. But that's not the point. The second part of it, the season, is the storyline of the Eagle. And, Eagle is trying to take over all of California and sell it to the highest bidder. Now, Zorro has to go for, I don't know how many episodes. The whole season is 39 episodes, which is insane. You never find a TV series going 39 episodes in the first season today, but I think they should. That'd be awesome. Anyway, the point is that he has to face off against the Eagle. And once he discovers who the Eagle is, and seeing that the Eagle is invading his home, Zorro just starts using psychological warfare on the Eagles, driving him out of the nest. It's awesome. But that's not the end of the Eagle, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. But, as you know, Zorro does his thing. And that's what I love about this show, because throughout it, you just see Zorro do his thing. And he doesn't have any fancy gadgets like Batman. He just has a whip and his sword and a horse. That's pretty much it, other than his wits. Now, this tin, as you can see, comes with a few things. The Zorro pin, as you can see. a shot of Guy Williams as Don Diego de la Vega, dashing figure if I say so myself. And of course, then there's finally the DVD case. Now the thing about the DVD case is that most of these DVD cases from Walt Disney Treasures are very fat, and they only hold like 2 DVDs. This holds up to 6 DVDs, and it is very thin. By the way, that's not my middle finger in case you were wondering. So, anyway, the introduction is very great. The introduction to the set is done by Leonard Moulton, as always, and he also has some great info about Zorro. The history of Zorro is a special feature on the 6th disc, as well as 2 movies. But I'm not going to go into the 2 movies. Well, the 2 movies here and the other 2 movies on the other set until another video, because they were supposed to be part of the 3rd season. Something tells me I already mentioned that. So, that is my review of Walt Disney Treasures Zorro, the complete 1st season. It's a black and white show, very good. I would highly recommend it if you could find it in color or in black and white. Now, when it was originally released, it was $30 a piece on Amazon. That would only cost me $60. Unfortunately, when it was released, I didn't have $60 and they sold out rather quickly. So I had to buy them for $200, $100 per set. And you'll be lucky if you can find them for that, unfortunately. I think that they should re-release the show on a cheaper format, but hey, how cheap can you get for $30? I'm just saying, you know, re-release it, particularly in other parts of the world, because in South America, particularly Brazil, people love Zorro there, and you could make a lot of money, Disney, by doing that. Anyway, I don't regularly rate shows, but if I had to, I'd give it a 10 out of 10, honestly. The music, the sword fights, everything, the adventure, it's just great. So, yeah, check out Zorro if you can. Definitely worth it, only if you can afford it. Okay. Anyway, this is the Connoisseur signing off.